This is the Metal Queens podcast. I'm Steve Richards. On this episode, it is Francis from Wucan, a German rock band from Dresden. They formed in 2011 and they have a new album out. It's called Axioms, a new single called Pipe Dreams 2. And I'm happy to have Francis join me here on the Metal Queens podcast. Welcome, Francis.
Hey Steve, thanks for having me.
So, how's everything going right now with the new album out and in life in general?
Oh my God, it's been so stressful. The past couple of weeks have been good stress,
Yeah.
obviously, because we really wanted to have this album out. But now it's a good feeling to have it out and see how the perception is among the people. And yeah, we're just happy it's out now. That's all I can say. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it.
All right. For viewers and listeners just discovering Vukan, how would you describe your sound?
Oh, that's my favorite question because I never first of all, I never give the same answer, and also I really don't know how to describe our music. It's interesting to see how we've always had this like what makes us Wukan. So there is something that is very special and unique to us, but I find it hard to put a label on it or really describe it and make sense of what it is. I mean, obviously we are inspired by the 70s, so there's loads of psychedelic rock inspirations or influences, if you will. There's folk in there. We have some synthesizers, which we utilize and have utilized for a couple of albums now. But I think the main thing is hard rock, to me at least. I mean, we do have some hard rock influences and they stand out, if you ask me. But you ask someone else and they will give you a different explanation. So
Yeah.
I really don't know.
All right. Let's talk about Pipe Dreams, the latest new single from the
Yeah.
album Axioms. What's the story behind that song?
Oh, well, interesting question. I mean, it's kind of an anthem for standing up for your dreams and fighting for your dreams, but also it's kind of in this song I am mourning the idealism that some people displayed a couple of years ago. It could be about anything really that has to do with dreams, but specifically, talking about social things. I mean, we have our generation. We try to make the world a better place, and in the past couple of years, we have had the experience of those dreams just shattering in front of our eyes with, the pandemic and wars going on in the world, all over the world. Talking about Ukraine, obviously, and Israel and Palestine, all of that. But I'm talking about the broader picture here, and I feel like that a lot of people are disillusioned right now. At least that's what I experience. And but it's kind of, how can I put it? I'm kind of begging the people to not give up because we have to stand together.
Yeah.
Sounds like a very poetic, philosophical thing, but I really, yeah, it just, you know, that's something I was concerned with.
Mm. This album, Axioms, has been 3 years in the making. What was the most
Yeah.
challenging and the most rewarding part of the journey with this album?
Most challenging part definitely was writing this album because each and every band member, I mean, our lives have changed. The boys are married men with families, either with their own children or stepchildren, and making time for the band obviously has taken a backseat, which is understandable. But that was the main challenge writing this album because I don't see myself making music with anybody else than the boys. Yeah, so it took a lot of time just because of that. And to be honest, after we released Heretic Tongues, we really soaked in the success we had, because that album to us was a milestone and it was a huge success for us.
Mm.
Whereas the album we had out before, Reap the Storm, was a bit of a flop, not gonna lie. So we were very disillusioned by that release. So yeah, I mean, it was just taking in whatever was happening to us and then getting back to songwriting and realizing that the time wasn't there or lives have changed, priorities have changed. So that was the challenge. The most rewarding thing, obviously, was when we realized that Axioms turned out really, really good. So that, I mean, to us, this is, better than Heretic Tongues, and that was the goal.
Mm. Is there a track on Axioms that holds the most personal significance for you and why?
Hmm.
I know they're like your children, right? All the songs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I mean, yeah, some of them are stepchildren, not gonna lie. But yeah, you love your stepchildren as well, right?
Yeah.
If you love the person that you're with, obviously you love their children as well. Personally, I would have to say Fountain of Youth because I spend a lot of time writing it. And even though it's lyrically speaking not the most personal, it's not unique to my situation, but it's the most philosophical, I think. And that's yeah, it's just something that my mind was occupied with when I wrote it. And yeah, I would say Fountain of Youth. I spent a lot of time working on it, and I'm proud to have it done.
Mm. The flute. When did you start playing the flute? And what is your musical background? Was music in your house growing up?
I grew up in a very, probably the most unmusical household there is. Music really did not play a role in my home. Well, that's not correct. Let's put it this way. My mom loved to listen to music, very specific types of music, funk and disco. I mean, this is where I got my disco influences from. But none of my family members sing or play instruments, and so I don't know. I just always wanted to be a musician. That was very clear from the start. I sang when I was a child. I don't remember a singular year in my life that I didn't sing. Like I grew up singing, but yeah, so I wasn't allowed to play an instrument. My parents were very strict about that. For some reason, they thought it was unnecessary to do that. Although right now we know that, education and playing an instrument kind of go hand in hand. So they probably wouldn't make the same mistake now, but back then they thought I really should focus on, sorry, should focus on school and my education instead of
Yeah.
learning an instrument. So I grew up not learning how to play an instrument, but I always wanted to. So at some point I started playing the flute. How did that come about? I think I played the recorder first, and then my recorder teacher, she was like, "You you don't need to play the recorder. You go straight to playing the flute." And my mom made it possible for me. It was very expensive. So it was $200 a month. And we're talking 2006 money. So
Yeah.
it was a lot of money. And my mom made it possible for me. However, the flute lessons, it wasn't really what I wanted. I really just wanted to be creative and wanted to learn how to utilize the flute in order to be creative. I didn't want to play Bach or any Mozart or whatever. I just I just wanted to play the flute so I can write my own songs really, but I didn't know at the time. Yeah, so I had 2 years of classical flute lessons. I barely learned anything useful at that time for me. But I kept the flute and I was able to play the flute after that for myself. And then I kind of brought the flute to Wucan when I founded Wucan. Yeah.
Yeah, you said you wanted to play the flute to learn about songwriting too, and let's talk about songwriting. What is the songwriting process like in this band? Is it a collaboration?
Yeah. For the most part, it is. Yeah. It's different for each song, really. I mean, we go into the rehearsal space and then we see what's happening, you know? With this album, since Tim was away for so long because he took time off to care for his children, um, a lot of the songwriting process was on me. So I came up with all the ideas, most of the ideas, not all of them. And then it's just singular riffs and bits and pieces that I bring to rehearsal. And then we jam along together and see where the spirit takes us, if you will. So it's a collaborative effort for sure. But there's some parts that were entirely written by me. We have some parts that were entirely written by Philip, our drummer. For example, Pipe Dreams, the drum riff, the
Mm,
little rhythm that he does, that was all his work.
mm. You mentioned a couple of times now the band members have children and stepchildren.
Yeah.
Has the dynamic changed between the four of you since they've had children now?
Yeah, I mean, of course it has, because family will always come first.
No.
And of course that makes a difference in the way you can play tours. It makes a difference in how much time you can spend recording. I mean, we've already streamlined, if you will, the process so much so that we will record from home. Some
Mm,
of the aspects, I mean, some of the solos were recorded at Tim's home, the guitar solos, because it has become very easy to do that
yeah.
without, how can I put it, without losing any of the vibe, because that to us is very important. We don't want an overly processed sounding record, if you know what I mean. And we made sure that it's the lowest effort for everybody involved, but the producer.
Mm,
So our producer Max, he packs up all of his stuff, comes to Dresden. We have an excellent sounding rehearsal room, and we recorded the entirety of the album there. So it's easier for everybody to make things work that way. So yeah, I mean, yeah, the dynamics have changed definitely.
how is the rock and metal scene in Dresden specifically?
We have a very vivid rock and metal scene. When I talk about metal, I'm talking about old school heavy metal
Yeah.
stuff. There's a couple of bands here, and yeah, a large friend group of people who are into the same music. So it is a very vivid scene. There's even young people
Mm,
in the scene, which I find very interesting. It took a while for young people to, come up because I feel like that's something that the entire heavy metal scene is concerned with, right? I mean, all over the world, we want more young people to carry the torch.
yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's very vivid. Very different, like many different styles of rock music as well. So there's 60s psychedelia, old school heavy metal. We have some new wave and punk, loads of punk rock bands here in Dresden. Yeah. And then bands like us.
What do you do when you're not doing music? What do you do to get away from it?
I'm a teacher for philosophy and English, and that's my day job, and that's how I make money so I can afford being a musician because it's expensive.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So the album Axioms is out now. What is next for Wucan? Any touring plans?
Yes, we are going to tour Germany and some European countries in October. And yeah, that's going to be lots of fun. Once we're done with that, we will probably plan an extended tour through Europe and Scandinavia, and some UK dates are going to follow next year as well. So, lots to do.
And when viewers watching this listen to this album Axioms and hear it, what do you hope they take away from it?
Hmm. I hope they can see this album, or yeah, they can see this album as a journey. Especially the latter half of the album is, I don't want to say experimental because we've always done this stuff. So to us, it's not experimental, but I know that, you know, viewers and listeners might see it as experimental. And I just hope they have an open ear and an open heart, open mind to take it in and yeah, just get on this journey, especially the last two songs. I think they're, you have to feel them a little bit and listen with your heart. Oh my God, that's that's cheesy, but I hope you get the point.
All right, we want to wrap up with our little lightning round of questions for Francis here. The last song you had on repeat, what was it? One that you can't stop listening to.
Oh, that's oh my God, I have to think about it. What's her name? I just discovered her last week. Her last name is Sinefro. Oh my God, she's a Belgian jazz musician. The song is called Space 2.
Mm.
And what's her first name? Lala Sinefro? Oh, I can't even remember her name, and I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly. But like I said, she's a Belgian jazz musician, a pianist, and her music is very soothing. And that's just what I needed during those stressful times right
Yeah,
now.
yeah. Your dream collaboration, living or dead, who would that be with?
Oh, living or dead. Okay, so I have to say Birth Control, the band, the German band, is my favorite krautrock band. They still exist. However, they had a way different lineup in the 70s, and I think the first lineup that would be my dream collaboration of all time. I love Bruno Frenzel. He was, rest in peace. He was an amazing songwriter and guitarist, and that would be my dream collaboration. Just two crowd bands coming together. That would be awesome.
First album you bought, what was it?
First album I bought on vinyl or CD?
Vinyl.
On vinyl, that was Nectar, Remember the Future, also a German krautrock band. I'm big in krautrock. Um, yeah, the album is special because it's just two songs, and each of the songs is 20 minutes long.
Mm.
So that was, I mean, a revelation. When I first heard it, I thought, wow, what is this? The album came out in 73, and I had an original pressing as well. I nearly died when I had it in the mail. It was awesome. Yeah. First album I ever bought.
And the first concert you ever went to, who was it and where?
Oh, that was 2009. Was I 15? No, I was 17. Oh, that's old. Okay. That was my first concert. Do you know the metal band Ectomorph? A
I'm not familiar with them.
Hungarian metal band. Oh my God. They were very popular here in 2009 or the early 2000s. I mean, it's kind of like I think they wanted to be Sepultura a little bit.
Mm.
So it's that in that vein of, heavy metal. So I went there and it was crazy. Loads of mosh pits and headbanging. That was my first show ever.
All right, she's Francis from Wucan, wucan-music.de. They've got merch there too, and you can get the album Axioms, which is out now. Stream their music too. Follow them on social, Wucan the band on Instagram as well for updates on tour dates coming too in support of this album Axioms. Francis, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much, Steve. That was a pleasure.
And like it, share it, subscribe to it. This is the Metal Queens podcast. I'm Steve Richards. Thanks for watching.